Dramatic visuals have flooded our screens over the last couple of days. Visuals that show the Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee do a protest march with huge numbers of supporters in Kolkata. You may have also seen her MPs being dramatically carried away by police here in Delhi because they landed up at Home Minister Amit Shah's door. So you may be wondering, what's the fuss about? If the Enforcement Directorate is carrying out raids against a private company called I-PAC, who are known for helping political parties map out their strategies, why is everyone so suspicious about the Enforcement Directorate's intent? First of all, for non-political folks, let me just explain what I-PAC is. I-PAC really hit the headlines in 2014 when, led by Prashant Kishore, they were part of the winning team for Narendra Modi. They're basically election strategists who use data and technology to come up with ways to plan campaign strategies, and so since then, poll strategists have become integral to planning. In the old days, parties and old hands were able to do everything themselves. But because so much of electioneering now is done online, and also because it's so vast, that these election strategists help politicians understand their demographic, help them do surveys to figure out what voters really want. So in that sense, I-PAC and others like them are very important, and they of course make big money from politicians. Prashant Kishore is now a politician, so I-PAC is run by Prateek Jain, who Mamata Banerjee really trusts. He was part of the winning team even in 2021 and 2024, and the Chief Minister has personally credited Prateek Jain for Trinamool's performance. Among other things, they helped the party figure out who is the best person to get a ticket and then how to attract voters towards them. They're also involved in financing the elections, which brings me to what this controversy is about. It all started with the ED landing up at the Kolkata office of I-PAC on Thursday to carry out raids. Now, just by this, it is very suspicious. Why? Because of the timing, which is a couple of months away from the elections being announced in Bengal, like in April. So what could the I-PAC have done that would make the ED land up at their local office just when they are at the thick of political work? Now, it could be that they think that there's lots of illicit cash which I-PAC was handling during election time. But no, that was not the case according to ED. It was apparently a 6-year-old case against another firm which was accused of stealing coal and laundering its proceeds. So the timing is the most suspicious thing about the case. Because while the ED claims the reason they had to raid Prateek Jain's premises is because they suspected I-PAC got 20 crore rupees from the 6-year-old coal case, i.e. proceeds of crime, it was way back in 2021. When I-PAC and Prashant Kishore were helping them in Goa elections. So what's very, very unclear is why ED waited all these years to get to that money trail. That money trail is obviously not clear because they have just listed oral testimonies of various people who say they gave money to X, who then gave money to Y, etc., etc. But they registered 2 charge sheets in the case, that coal case, and finished the investigations before 2024. So a brand new clue of 20 crore rupees involving I-PAC seems suspicious, especially going by ED's self-declared record. The ED action made Mamata Banerjee see red, and she landed up at the raiding office along with the police. According to the ED, the Chief Minister used her state police and there was a full standoff and she refused to let them take away their digital devices. Banerjee claims that all that the ED wanted to do was to just look at her election strategies and her candidate list, and that's why she stopped them from taking away those documents. So it's a proper state versus center fight. Let's not forget that unlike CBI, which has the appearance of autonomy, the ED is part of the government. It comes under the finance ministry. So whatever it does is traced straight to government action. So it's Mamata's word against the EDs, and because there's no transparency as such, they don't even reveal the FIR. We have no way to tell whether it's a genuine case or not. But if you've been tracking the ED, you will look at their past record and wonder whether it's another one of their typical cases against opposition leaders. Let's look at their record, shall we? According to data they revealed in Parliament, ED has registered 193 cases against politicians in the last decade. Almost all are against opposition leaders. Guess how many of those 193 were upheld by courts, i.e. got a conviction? Only 2. Even those cases that aren't against politicians, they don't do so well. In that same time period, they lodged more than 5,000 cases, but less than 50 went to trial. So, this indicates that many a time the ED has pursued cases not because they have solid evidence, but because of other reasons. The opposition claims it's to stall them, to distract them, to harass them. Now, you hear many say that if indeed the case is political, then the courts will throw it out. Yes, but it's the process that's the real killer for them. Take, for instance, the 2G case or the Delhi liquor case. Everyone was acquitted and there turned out to be no spectrum scam at all. But it did turn out to be a big factor towards the UPA losing. There are so many cases like that, including the Commonwealth Games scam. So, yes, the courts do hand out justice in the end, but if you're busy fighting in courts, then you probably won't be able to fight full throttle electorally. So, all eyes now on how this plays out politically. The BJP will use this to show how Mamata Banerjee and her 3-term government are corrupt and they don't allow the rule of law in the state. She's countering it with her dramatic speeches and calling the Home Minister nasty and naughty.
Is it the duty of the ED and Amit Shah? The nasty Home Minister? The naughty Home Minister? Who cannot protect the country?
We thought that SIR was going to be the big political battle ahead of Bengal polls, but this shows that we should expect lots of surprises and a political battle like no other.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The $1 million question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.